Hello, friends from across the nation and around the world. I'm Martin, and you are listening to Dad's Bedtime Stories. Tonight, we're going to be diving back into the Cards of Power series. If you haven't listened to it before, it's basically a universe where you get to capture magical creatures in card form and, do battle and stuff like that. In the last episode, we just started a new story arc with the International Card Federation, a group of all sorts of different planets and alien species who all do battle with magical cards. And today, we're going to take off from there with this suggestion.
Hello, my name is, Phoenix, and I've got an idea for the Cards of Power series. My idea is that you meet me on the moon, and I have a load of different elemental lizards. So I've got a ghost lizard, a skeleton lizard, a tech lizard, a fire lizard, even a soulfire lizard would be cool, and an electric lizard. And then I want to have a really strong lizard which has every single element, including the ones that I already told you.
Phoenix, that is a great idea for a story. Now, I don't know if it can take place on our moon, since we did just head away from that in the last episode, but I think we can work something like that into this one. Now, if you have an idea for a new planet of magical creatures or a specific magical creature of pretty much any kind, it is time to send those ideas in. As soon as I wrap up the arc that I'm working on of Wizardcraft 2.0, I'm going to have a little more time to fit in some Cards of Power episodes. I just want to give a big shout out to some of my newest Patreon sponsors. First of all, a shout out to Atticus. Thank you, Atticus. Thank you as well to Geo. Your support means a lot. And last for tonight anyways, thank you to Remy and his older brother, Hardy. Now, Hardy, I hear that you often give in and let Remy listen to Dad's Bedtime Stories instead of whatever podcast you want to listen to. And I just have to say, thank you. That's the right choice. Now, friends, it's that time again. Time to get as comfy as you can in those beds, close your eyes, and imagine yourself doing what the kid in the story does. You wake up and open your eyes, only to realize you're in the sleeping quarters on the moon base. Magnus wakes up at your feet as well. Good morning, he says. You head out of the bedroom area and into the little kitchen nook where you replicate whatever food you want for breakfast. Maddox, the holographic representation of an ancient wizard, suddenly appears beside you. Good morning. Now, are you ready for your journey? I just got word that the hyperdrive has been successfully installed in your spaceship. I have used the moon-based systems to ensure that it is in the highest condition that it can possibly be in. And, of course, I have taken the liberty to connect myself to the ship. Any time you need my advice, I'll be there. Thanks, you say. Well, there's this whole tournament thing to prepare for. What do you suggest I do first? That is an excellent question. I say that you start by traveling to the closest parts of the Galactic Card Federation. Each planet's system has its own collection of magical creatures. If I were you, I would start at Alpha Centuri. It is the closest habitable star system that is part of the Galactic Card Federation. It also hosts its very own version of a moon, which has also been turned into a habitat for magical creatures. It would be an excellent place to get your feet wet, so to speak. Oh, perfect. How do we get there, you ask? I will program it into your ship's system. The ship, along with Axe, will do the rest. You make your way along the long corridor and back into the shipping bay, where you see your very own spaceship waiting for you. You walk up the back hatch, down a long hallway, and into the command center of the ship.
Oh, hello there,
Axe says, the tech-based axolotl.
I see we have new coordinates for the ship. Would you like to go there?
Axe asks. Sure, you say as you sit down on one of the captain's chairs.
All right, initiating power.
Axe hits a button, and the ship suddenly powers up. All of the consoles turn on, the screen turns on, and the whole thing begins to hum.
Closing doors.
The doors to the ship close, and a gigantic door above the ship opens up.
Liftoff in 3, 2, 1.
With a big hissing noise, the ship floats up in the air. It lifts out of the hangar bay, and then it begins moving forward over top of the moon and beyond.
System drive speed initiated,
Axe says as it pushes forward on a lever. The ship shoots forward faster and faster and faster. You quickly zoom past the outer planets in the solar system, and as soon as you're free, Axe initiates the intergalactic drive.
Hyperdrive activated in 3, 2, 1.
Axe hits a button, and the world begins to warp around you. The ship suddenly shoots forward at an incredible speed, but it all feels a little bit dizzying. Things kind of level out for a while, and you look through the view screen. All you can see is the ship traveling through some sort of colorful tunnel. Oh, what's this? You ask.
Oh, well, we are currently traveling through a hyperspeed tunnel. The ship essentially creates a shortcut or wormhole in space and then flies through it. We should be arriving at the Alpha Centuri system in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Suddenly you feel that same disorienting feeling as the ship flies out of the hyperdrive tunnel. Off in the distance you can see another sun. You quickly blast into this new solar system, until you come to a planet that looks about as big as Saturn. But the surface of the planet looks a lot like Earth's. You start to see other spaceships as well. Spaceships of all different shapes, sizes, and even colors traveling around the planet.
Approaching the moon of this planet,
Axe says. And sure enough, you soon see a very large moon that once again looks a lot like Earth's. Well, in terms of size anyways. this one is covered in all sorts of greenery.
Receiving incoming transmission.
Put it on the screen, you say. And with that, the screen lights up with a picture of, well, a blue alien species. The large blue man on the other side says,
Engaging translation software. That should be better.
"State your purpose," the man repeats, this time in English. I'm here to capture more cards," you answer.
That is a good reason to join. I see you are from Earth. You must be the new card holder we heard of. I am sending you coordinates for the docking bay on our moon. Good hunting.
With that, the transmission cuts out.
Oh, well, I think I got those coordinates,
Axe says.
Hold on, we're heading straight there.
Axe steers the ship towards the moon. He flies up towards the bottom of it and then sort of flips the ship over. It's disorienting at first, but you kind of get used to it. There's no up and down in space after all. The ship lowers down towards the moon, into what could only be described as a spaceship parking lot. A huge stretch of concrete with ships of all different shapes and sizes already parked. The landing gear shoots out, and the ship clunks down on the planet in a wide open spot.
Well, I think we are here. Have fun.
Are you ready for this, Magnus? You ask.
Am I ready for this? He responds. The question is, are they ready for me?
You just sort of shake your head a little bit, and then turn and walk out of the command area, down a long hall, and out the back hatch.
Wait,
Axe says from behind you, running down the corridor and carrying something in his hand.
I almost forgot. If you're gonna get by on these alien planets, you're gonna need your own translator. Here.
Axe throws you what looks like a little earpiece. You grab a hold of it, and you place it up by your ear. It suddenly sort of grabs on and reshapes itself to perfectly fit around it.
Maddox gave me the design. It should allow you to understand and speak in any alien language.
Thanks, you say, continuing down the ramp. Now, not knowing exactly where you're going, you just scan around the parking lot until you see other people walking from their spaceships. You decide that following them will most likely get you to the correct place. The small group of people lead you over to what looks like one of the gates from the protected areas on your planet. You watch as the others walk up to the gate, activate their card cores, and the gate responds by opening up. You walk up to the gate, do the same, but all you hear is, "Card not detected." "What do you think you're trying to do?" a voice says from off to the side. Well, we were just trying to go battle magical creatures and maybe capture some new cards," you say. But you don't have the right card, do you? In order to get in there,
you need one of these."
The man produces a glowing card out of his card core. Obviously, it's a card to whatever this gate is. How do I get one of those, you ask?
Well, you would have to prove your worth against someone like me. The name's Phoenix, and I'm one of the gatekeepers here.
Oh, nice to meet you, Phoenix. You introduce yourself as well as Magnus.
Pleased to meet you.
So, exactly how do we get one of those cards?
Well, you have to prove that you're ready. There are several very powerful creatures in that area, and I don't recommend going in unless you are powerful enough. Follow me.
Phoenix leads them over towards a large building that looks almost like an arena, stands tall beside the door. He walks through a large doorway and leads you through a lobby and over to an elevator.
We'll head up to the battlegrounds and see what you're made of.
The elevator closes, lifts up, and opens again into a gigantic and almost entirely white room. Phoenix walks over to the other side of the room and turns to face you. He gestures for you to do the same. So you walk over to the other side of the room and turn to face him. Alright, so what are the rules? How many cards? What do I need to know? You ask.
We like to keep it pretty basic, he says. We will do a series of one-on-one battles. I pick a single card, and you decide how to counter it. And for my first card, let's see here. Yes, this should do nicely. I choose a ghost lizard.
Phoenix's card core lights up, and a large glowing blue card appears in front of him. The card transforms into energy and reforms itself into a gigantic, completely white lizard.
I got this one,
Magnus says, jumping in front of you and automatically beginning to transform. He moves through his various evolutions, turning first into a intermediate level dragon, then into a legendary dragon, then into a gigantic mythic level dragon of enormous proportions, before eventually shrinking back down to a more reasonable sized dragon, his deity form. What if you're not the right match for this? I don't know exactly what a ghost lizard is, you say.
Not the right match. Don't worry about me. There's no way that thing's as powerful as I am. 3, 2, 1, go, the man says, and Magnus immediately sucks in a breath of air and unleashes a powerful blast of pure energy hotter than the sun itself. The ghost lizard doesn't even move. It simply allows the energy to shoot straight through it and blast into the back wall. Magnus, looking confused, tries again. This time he absorbs all of the heat energy he can from the room around him, freezing you, Phoenix, and the ghost lizard in the process. Then, using the extra energy,
he unleashes an even more powerful blast of energy directly at the creature. Again, the creature just sort of turns intangible and allows the blast to pass through it. It even seems to sort of yawn as it happens. "Don't just sit there," Phoenix says. "Attack!" The ghost lizard looks back at Phoenix and then over at Magnus. It suddenly blasts forward at incredible speeds, and its body sort of flies right into Magnus. "Hey, what the... Magnus suddenly starts to jerk left and right, his limbs moving in strange ways as he tries to fight off whatever this thing is doing to him. "Hey, that's not fair," he says as he starts to punch himself in the face. "Ow!" It seems that the ghost lizard is attempting to take over Magnus's body. He punches himself, kicks himself, flails around, and even unleashes a blast of energy directly at his stomach. "That's not fair. This is my body," Magnus says, getting angrier and angrier as the creature continues to mess with his limbs. "Let's see how much heat you can take." Magnus begins to light up, brighter and brighter and brighter, turning every single part of his body into energy, pure heat energy. He glows yellow at first, then blue, then pure white. You instinctively activate your tech armor just to shield yourself from the heat. You're not strictly sure if that's allowed, but looking across the arena, it seems that Phoenix has had to do the same thing with some sort of energy shield. The strange movements stop as Magnus stands up on his hind legs, spreads his wings apart, and roars as the heat gets even more intense. Sure enough, the ghost lizard blasts out of his stomach onto the ground, lifts its head up, and then allows it to collapse, transforming back into energy and being reabsorbed by Phoenix's card core. Slowly, Magnus's light dims down as he transforms back into a sleek-looking black dragon with veins made of, sunfire or something of the sort. Interesting. I've never seen that way of defeating my ghost lizard before. I suppose I'll need something more powerful. Maybe... yes, maybe this will do. Another card glows in front of Phoenix and reforms itself into energy. The energy swirls around the room and turns into another gigantic lizard. Only this one seems to be an elemental type. A tail that glows with flame. A body surging with electricity. Poison falling out of its mouth. And, rocks starting to form around its legs. "Bring it on," Magnus says, staring down at the lizard. "I guess it's time to decide if a whole bunch of powers are better than one super strong power." Magnus once again begins to glow, turning his entire body into pure energy. The lizard unleashes a blast of electricity that simply passes through Magnus. He attempts to shoot boulders at the creature, but they just hit Magnus and immediately melt into lava. Magnus reaches his arms out, grabs a hold of the lava, and shoots it back at the creature. The creature dodges out of the way, and the spike of lava splats against the back wall. Seemingly getting angry, the creature summons all of its powers at once. Earth, wind, fire, air, poison, energy, lightning. Pretty much anything you can imagine. All begin to form around the creature, spinning around in a circle. They then start to spiral together and shoot directly at Magnus. Magnus responds by doing something you've never seen him do before. His body simply splits in half, moving around the strange blast of multi-elements, and he reforms himself behind the creature. The floor underneath the creature almost instantly melts, turning into something that looks a lot like lava. The lizard dips into it and attempts to get out. Magnus solidifies the ground, opens up his mouth, and unleashes a blast of pure and concentrated energy directly at the creature. The creature instantly turns back into blue energy and returns to Phoenix's card core. Well, that's pretty amazing. I mean, I have many more tricks up my sleeve, but I think you've earned this. The man holds a card up in the air. It begins to glow and float before shooting over towards you. You catch the card in your hands and look at it. Gate card, it says. You activate your card core. The card glows a bright blue color and shoots into your chest. Now, well, what do you think about me accompanying you into the new area? There's some pretty powerful creatures I've been meaning to capture, and, well, I could use someone like you. Magnus begins to glow and slowly shrinks back down into his dragonling form. Well, it's probably a good idea to have somebody who knows the area, he says as he flies back over towards you. Yeah, you're probably right. I accept. You both walk towards each other, meeting at the center of the battle arena. You reach out your hand, and Phoenix does the same. Deal, he says as you give his hand a good shake. Now, let me show you some of our guest quarters. You get back into the elevator, and it goes up to another floor. You exit into a large hallway with a whole bunch of different doors. Well, this one can be yours, he says, swiping a key card against the door. The door slides open, revealing a very nice-looking hotel room. A hotel room that looks like hotel rooms do on Earth, only the things are sort of different in shape and size and color. The beds look pretty normal, though. I'll meet you in the morning, he says, giving you a slap on the back and walking away. You realize then that Phoenix has a lizard tail of some kind. He looked pretty normal otherwise, pretty human, but, well, I guess you never noticed his back before. You give your head a shake and enter the hotel room, climbing into your bed and pulling the covers up to your chin. Magnus jumps up on the bed beside you, curls up, and immediately begins to snore. The lights dim, you close your eyes, and you just sort of work your head into the very comfortable pillow. With each breath, you sink down into the very comfortable mattress just a little bit more, and your mind begins to wander off to thoughts of new dreams, new adventures, and new magical creatures to come. Good night, everyone.